That's okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I know it's pretty late in the afternoon, only two presentations away from drinks, so we try to make it entertaining. Today we've seen a lot of different views across the value chain within the dairy and plant-based industry about market trends, consumer trends. Good news is we don't see the trends and market changes differently, but maybe we do have a bit of a different perspective. We have the packaging perspective on things. My name is Julia Trebels, and I'm the Category and Consumer Insights Manager of SIG. And this is my colleague Mohib.
And I'm Mohib. I'm also working as a category manager for Europe for the dairies and the plant-based product. We want to touch base on three things. And as Julia was saying, we have already heard a lot about the market forces that's affecting all of us in the dairy supply chain. We have heard from the processors. Patrick actually set a great tone in today's meeting by talking about the things that's impacting almost all of us. We would also try to give you a view on, say, at the end of the supply chain where packaging plays a critical role for attaining the sustainability ambitions of dairy, where we are placed and how we are playing a role here. So to start with, who we are. If you see, that's Rheinfels behind me in Switzerland. And if you go there, look up, you cannot miss that building. That's SIG. We are a packaging solution provider. We have our portfolio focus on spouted pouches, beverage cartons, both in the aseptic and chilled for Asia, and the bag-in-box technology. We offer more value to our customers by offering a wide range of versatile packaging. We have packs that cater the needs of the small formats, small filling volumes, from 50 ml to 500 ml packs, and catering the occasions such as on the go. Then the major part of our portfolio where we are number 2 globally, and when it comes to chilled, we are number 1 in Asia. The packaging covers from 65 ml to 2-liter packaging. Then when it comes to the bigger chunks in the food service, we are also market leader in the bag-in-box technology with the filling volumes from starting from 2-liter to the bigger chunks. There are 4 big things, and I think we all have spoken about that whenever we touch the topic of sustainability. The world needs more safer and affordable food. The market is changing, pushing us towards that direction. The world must reduce carbon. The world must reduce plastic and packaging waste, and the world must protect and generate biodiversity. And when we talk about our sustainability approach, it's built on bringing in positives into 4 dimensions. This is a simple but yet deeper slide to us when we think of it. And I would request you all to go into our website, see our annual report where each of the 4 dimensions are explained in quite detail. This is explained in the context of what are the targets, how are the targets being evolved, where are we in terms of each of the dimension, and how we are aiming to move forward. But just to, for the sake of time and just to touch a little bit of base, Climate Plus, we're referring to taking off more carbon than we are generating from the market, and it can span in from getting into 100% or using 100% renewable energy in our production facilities, or even bringing in the solution that has much lower carbon footprint compared to the other packaging solutions in the market. When it comes to Resource Plus, as a packaging supplier, also with our partners, we are trying to drive circularity or trying to facilitate the circularity ambitions of the states and also the authorities. We believe in that, and that's where we have quite intense involvement in the advocacy programs to put in place the right strategies that can increase the collection. And also we are, with our peers, trying to invest into the infrastructure where we can increase the recyclability of the packaging. And when it comes to recyclability, there are the design aspects, and we are conforming to the DFR guidelines, both internal and the industry standards, so that anything that comes out from our house is 100% recyclable. When it comes to food plus, food waste is in the focus. We want to avoid the crop wastes and bring in food in an affordable and safe way to the market, ensuring the nutrients are intact for as long as 12 months. When it comes to Forest Plus, who are we again? We are one of the leading beverage carton suppliers of the market. So 70% of the pack is paper, and we are trying to ensure that this is used sustainably, and we are contributing more to what we're using as a raw material to our partnership with WWF. So how do we create stronger value for our customers? It all starts with looking into the market forces, understanding the market forces. Whatever was happening pre-pandemic has completely changed in 2023. And whatever happened in 2023 has also changed, because we're living in a world that is not AI, that is generative AI today. So things are changing, things are evolving continuously. The economy is changing. So it's about understanding the needs from the market and the market forces, then using those market forces in a very good, well-established platform, and leveraging that to cater a broader group of customers. And from that platform, keep on innovating continuously so that the growth continues. That's a simple, yet we believe an elegant equation to get into value creation. A bit detail onto it. When we talk about the structural drivers or the industry forces, there are two sides to it, and I'll explain in a bit of these two. So there are structural drivers on what's really happening in the economy and how can really we keep pace with that. And the other part is the end market drivers, where we are also partnering with you and also the other market research specialists to see what's really happening at the consumer's end and where's the best synergy. Then we are reflecting upon our own platform, and we see, okay, we are positioned in a very nice way with a versatile range of packaging, a very good filling technology that's flexible, that's cost optimized. We are harnessing the digital strength and the services. We are keeping at pace, and this term is very important, keeping at pace with the sustainable evolution, because the concept of sustainability is also evolving each month, I think, yeah? And then when all these are in place, it needs to be scaled up, it needs to be distributed. So we have our global presence all over the world to spread this on and have a very good commercial approach to take it further. And we are continuously evolving and innovating in aseptic technology, filling capabilities, packaging differentiation. Okay, what fits in on the go? What fits in a breakfast occasion? What fits into in-home consumption? What's changing for different generation? So there's a lot of innovation coming in, and material science is somewhere we're having a mastery to make sure that the sustainable solutions are sustainable, are there for the long term. And that's how the values are coming in. What really affects a dairy customer then? Think of it. Somebody standing in front of a shelf trying to buy a liter of milk, or a plant-based milk, or a flavored milk, or a probiotic infusion. And she is faced with a multitudinal of factors. There's an economic indicator, there are purchasing power issues, there are sustainability concerns and a lot of communication around it. Do I drink a plant-based? Is it really good for my health? Am I missing the right level of nutrition? There's a post-pandemic psychology affecting her. So there's quite a lot she's already processing before making a €1 purchase, maybe, yeah? So I want to explain these market forces and how that's going to shape our approach to business. First, the economic link, the macro factor. Well, global inflation played a role in the last few years, but it's coming on, so it's on a global scale, headline inflation. And we have seen a lot of changes in the consumption pattern, moving away from the high value product, or getting into the right affordable nutrition. A lot of things came in, not just during the last 3 years, also for long term. Those of you who are from Europe, you know the milk industry was suffering. There was a degrowth for many reasons. However, there are signs of positives now. We don't see big numbers like every year the decline is happening. We see the decline is pausing. I mean, even for Europe, it's negative 0.3. It's good compared to 3 to 4% decline each year. And some of the regions where you have the emerging markets in Asia, in Middle East and Africa, we are seeing good growth. Just looking into these two, here we can say we're looking at a positive outlook for milk. Now, what are the other factors beyond this trend? That is, look into the per capita consumption divide. Just some examples, like milk in the advanced countries versus milk in the emerging countries. There's a big gap in consumption. There would be a natural transformation. I think more and more, I think there would be a link to economic development with milk consumption in the emerging markets, and that would be a natural driver of milk volume. So the takeout here, we can say there's a positive outlook in the economy for milk consumption. However, it's going good, but the strains are still there, and it's not still at the best times we had in Europe. So looking at the forecast, I think still affordable nutrition would be a focus, and I think most of the speakers have said it. There would be focus on driving costs down. That's an aspect. Often since we are too much consumer focused, we don't often look into what's happening to the farm cost of the dairies in Europe. Prices going down, is it really bearing a lot of fruits for them? And could that be having some link to the consumption in the long run? That would definitely have an impact on the supply side, but how that's gonna affect the consumption, that's where we also keep on thinking. We are already seeing examples of shrinkflated shelves. In France, Carrefour has already announcing which products are shrinkflated. And then we see quite a lot of reliance on private level purchase. Just to give you an example, the graph on the right side shows in each of the region, there is slight increase in the private level consumption. So more focus on affordable, high quality dairy drink is coming on. And then where we see in Europe also quite a lot of novelty being launched in the private levels. Takeout, matching the scale of private level demand would be very critical when we think from a packaging perspective. Then comes post-pandemic lifestyle. Yes, we are more focused on our well-being, active lifestyle. We want to be more informed in our nutrition, and we want to focus on our preventive health. That's just the last speaker has spoken about with a very nice depth. And we see quite a lot of innovation when it comes to pure dairy. Just on the milk side of things, it's all add-ons, it's all fortification, it's all how dairy is gonna bring in those days of glory, how dairy is gonna bring in more health benefit, more indulgence to the market. I think that's what we see coming up. So healthier dairy is becoming the next frontier of innovation. Now, think of it. We're standing in a world where dairy is getting back its focus, again from a consumption side, and quite a lot of new products are being launched each day in the market. And Patrick again showed a very good slide that with the nutrients and labelings and everything, we are confused. We are confused every day by the communication, by the carbon footprint communication, by so many things. So the consumers really want to know. There's quite a lot of information on the labeling, but what's the correlation with trial in the market? And McKinsey has made a very good slide published, I think, 2 weeks back. And you can see, just for the simplicity of the session, in the x-axis, you see the number of labels that people are aware of. In the y-axis, you can see how those labels induce trial in the market. And, well, people are aware about a lot of things. But what really induces trial is sustainability. I mean, and there are much more granularity to that. And the protein sources. That reaffirms our theory from the macro side that milk is gonna get back on the growth track soon with the change in the innovation realm. So sustainability and good health benefit will be also the key. That's also another force that's changing. AI, I mean, this was there, but something changed in November 2023. ChatGPT came in and everybody jumped into ChatGPT. We are also starting asking ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT, can you re-articulate my presentation and stuff? So, I mean, we are all adapting to that, right? But think of it, this AI was already there. There are examples in the farming, like the Arla's silo program, or improving the process efficiency in Danone. Where the biggest change is coming is on the NPD. I think, was it with Nestle, or I think with one of the major manufacturer, the NPD window is coming down from 3 months to 12 days. So consumers are living in a world of sustainability, quite a lot of information, and a phenomenal amount of product popping up each day in the shelf. That's what the next reality is. AI is changing the speed of new dairy concepts in the market. In terms of sustainability, we've touched a bit of the base here. It's really a broad topic with very clear targets, but one particular trend I want to highlight is the trend of paperization. A lot of focus is coming on using material that are more recyclable and reusable, and with a predominant focus on paper. So adoption to sustainability requirement is also pacing up. The last force, which is also our topic of interest of everyone, what's happening with plant-based then? Yes, dairy is having its glory back. Just a Europe picture. You can see from 2019 to 2021, the graph was steep. We were having somewhere around 11% CAGR before that time. It's a phenomenal growth. Nothing after 80s have grown like that we have seen. So we're talking here about 1.7 billion volume in 2023 for Europe. If you compare it with a 30 billion liter of milk volume, still way behind. So again, as Patrick said, there was an era of compartmentalization that, hey, there's a dairy and there's a plant-based, and there would be a confrontation. We'd also say, yes, there were two chambers, but now they're intertwined. We're talking about a 30 billion liter and a 1.7 billion liter of market, and we're seeing examples of very good coexistence. It's not at a face-to-face posture anymore, and we are seeing a lot of dairy players stepping in with the spare capacity to fill in plant-based dairy. It would grow. Of course, the trial hype would slow down, so we see a slowdown of growth here as well, but it would keep growing because it has withered the economic turbulence of last 3 years. It has a high value segment. We have made a very thorough internal research. We do it for many other topic. We commissioned this in 2022, where we try to draw a picture more from the prism of a packaging supplier and also from the manufacturer's perspective. How is it important? We see the consumer perspective and know the why part from the TVs and the Google, but what is in it for us and how do we handle it? And we looked into the competition map, we looked into the approaches, we looked into the merger scenarios, we looked into quite a lot of detail and tried to draw a forecast internally. And that's where we see the growth would slow down, our internal forecast, and we would land in a volume of 2.2 billion liters in Europe. However, the composition would change. So you'd see the green part, the light green part on top, where the brands that were leading the Alpros of the world, and the bottom line were the private labels. With the change of the market forces, we see a rise in the Tesco's and the Morrisons and the Reves and the Edekas of the world coming in with brilliant innovation in plant-based. So we would see more and more private labels getting in. Who's going to fill that? That's the question, and I think that picture is very important when we think a synergy between dairy and plant-based. And for the brands, I think the bigger one, the better one, the innovative ones are going to sustain and consolidate the market. That's what's already happening. And there's quite a lot of backup into it. If you're interested, we're happy to connect with you after this one. So plant-based is another market force. If I summarize all those 7 forces we talked about, positive outlook in the market, we talked about healthier dairy coming, we talked about private label and their scalability is important, we talked about sustainability, AI, and plant-based evolution. Quite a lot of force, and everybody is somehow trying to adapt to this changing market, starting from farming to the branding and distribution. So where is packaging in this whole transition? What do you think?
Thank you, Muhi. Packaging, of course, plays a vital role in all of this, right? We see all the changes in the dairy and plant-based industry happening, and packaging is actually the enabler to pack all these beautiful products we have in mind. So packaging becomes more and more important. In the next 7 minutes, I'm walking you through how packaging can help, or actually helps, to keep up the pace in all these changing market environments. Now, at SIG, we look at innovation from multiple facets. So obviously, SIG not only produces the packaging, but also the filling machines, which is why innovation is also happening in terms of effectiveness, low waste rate, output and efficiency. But today, the core of this presentation is about sustainability and delivering product flexibility to the market. Now, I want to spend a bit more time talking around sustainability. Muhib already introduced it. Sustainability is core of what SIG is doing on a daily basis. But it's also so important for us because carton packages, to take this example of packaging, is already sustainable by nature. Carton packaging already have a high share of renewable resources or renewable materials, almost up to 70 to 75%. They're all, or SIG carton packaging, are all responsibly sourced, taking 100% FSC certification. We do have the lowest carbon footprint versus others, and we have a couple of LCAs also on our webpage, but I'm not going to bore you with a lot of numbers now. And our carton packaging are fully recyclable where there is a recycling scheme in place. So this is already a pretty good base to start from. But at SIG, we don't want to stop here. We have defined actually quite an ambitious roadmap in terms of sustainable packaging. And now here you see a couple of beautiful different little packs, but I want to draw your attention on your left-hand side of the screen, right? The pink one, our sustainable journey continued, and we actually had a pretty nice milestone reached in 2022, where we introduced the first alu-free full barrier pack to the market. By that we mean we were able to fill aseptically products from dairy, plant-based juices into aseptic packaging without aluminum, and this is quite a market novelty or industry novelty. So this is quite a nice milestone. But of course, again, SIG is not stopping here. We have quite bold targets we want to work towards to, and actually we are quite confident that we're going to reach this. Here I'm showing you 2 different percentages. So one is we achieve, or we target to have a carton packaging in place with more than 80% fiber or paper content by 2025. In 2023, we target even a carton packaging with 90% paper content. So again, pretty bold targets, but actually we're quite confident that we're going to go there. And it's not just we want to, but actually we have to, together as an industry. Now, sustainable packaging indeed is super important also for brand players, producers to reach their sustainable targets. But it's not all of the whole innovation journey. Packaging and sustainability is one part of this. And at SIG, we believe that innovating is basically a journey. And now I want to walk you through a nice little journey in our super fast electric SIG car, driving through different stations of where we believe innovation can happen together as a partnership. The first stop is basically market insights. Muhib just explained SIG is working with partners to conduct market researches. We do our own market research to really create powerful data and insights to, together with our partners, define strategies for the future. So this is always the starting point, understanding the consumer insights, understanding where the market is going, and basically setting the first step of the innovation journey. When understanding or knowing, okay, this is where we actually want to go towards to, the second point is creating novelty for better, creating new product innovations together. And here now there are a lot of different pillars on this slide, but you might wonder now, what has SIG as a packaging supplier to do with digestive health or sugar reduction? At SIG, we believe that we really create value when we think end to end. And SIG wants to be way more in the side of product development. Of course, we don't do this alone. We always partner up with people who are the experts. But maybe taking the example of digestive and gut health. So our previous presenter showed us nicely that probiotics are super important for our health, not only elderly people, but also the younger ones. Probiotic is definitely a concept which is known by consumers and actually getting more popular. Here on the left-hand side of the slide, you see, okay, the global probiotic market is growing by 9% year on year, which is quite an extensive number. So obviously there is something. The problem with probiotics for SIG in the past was that they need to be refrigerated and they don't withstand any kind of heat treatment. But if you want to fill something aseptically, it does need to go through heat treatment, which is why probiotics before was nothing for SIG. But on the journey of trying to deliver, innovate and bringing better products to the market and making it accessible also for a broader population, SIG embarked on a journey with Anna Bio, who is our partner in that project. Anna Bio is an expert when it comes to encapsulation technology. They're based in Cork, in Ireland. And they helped us to deliver a concept which is combining our aseptic technology and sustainable packaging with the goodness of live bacteria. And this is truly markets first. We're still in the rollout of this, but it's just one example of how SIG is collaborating with partners from the industry to create next level concepts together. Now the third stop, and I'll speed up here a little, is product testing. So it's all about trying out products and maybe even failing fast, knowing exactly, oh, this is not working, let's park this and go on to the next one. And SIG is constantly investing into our test filling facilities. So globally, we have 3 testing facilities in China, Dubai and Linnich in Germany, where we have quite a nice setup of processing, upstream equipment and our filling machines. And on that way, we can commercially produce products and use this for consumer testing, market test analysis, etc. So this is basically one service we offer to customers to test, try, and maybe even fail fast and then win and succeed faster. Filling, of course, goes hand in hand with this, and SIG is following a 3-point rule here basically. Everything we do, every packaging we put onto the market is flexible, it needs to be affordable, and our filling lines need to deliver a certain speed and output, because if we deliver to, for instance, developing market and we need to scale fast, our filling machines can do that. Now here you see a nice skyline of SIG packaging. As Muhib just outlined before, we cover a huge range of different formats and volume sizes, and it's all about differentiating. So whenever we have this nice, beautiful concept, of course also the packaging needs to resonate with the concept as such and needs to stand out. So this is where SIG delivers differentiation to partners. Sustainability, I think we've talked about it now quite a lot. For us, it's not a nice to have, it's a must have, so it's a given for any market innovation out there. And in the end of the day, we also heard it now a couple of times, everything we do needs to be fun, it needs to attract people, it needs to kind of entertain. And also at SIG, we want to be louder, and we are actually louder. So I think together with our communication and the brand communication, we can nicely form the 360-degree communication plan, which then ideally positions the solutions out there. And yeah, that's basically our story. And thank you for listening in.
Julia and Muhib, thank you very much indeed.